And then also having your 4 kids, would you say you're a natural giver?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Do you think you ever ran across what I would coin or just think about as like giver exhaustion? Like you feel like you just spread thin, whether it's in your personal life, professional life. A lot of people lean on you, call on you. You know what that may look like.
For me, as an individual, I am a servant. So I don't get exhausted by taking care of people. Like life can get busy and you can get tired, but and I don't really work a lot now in the hospital. So I'm good at what I do, but I like giving. I like giving without necessarily having to receive back. I mean, I want to receive back, but I enjoy giving. It makes me, I know that, especially when I'm at work, that I make somebody's day better. Like, especially with the way caregivers are now, but I like making people happy.
Yeah, no, that's what's up.
Okay.
When I hear women being givers, or givers in general, I think like, it's women that would like to give and those women that like to receive.
Mine in the gutter.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the gutter, but
I think I think people with my personality type get taken advantage of a lot.
You think so?
For sure. Then even I was thinking about this the other day as far as men. I think women I'm in my opinion a submissive type of woman, but some part of me thinks some men just like toxic women because you get kind and it just gets taken advantage of.
I can see without boundaries how that can happen, but that's anybody. I don't like, cause like in general, like I feel like if you can go into an ATM and type in 00000 and you can take out as much money as you want with no daily limit and it's not even your money, who's going to stop the person from going there every day to go take out a large amount of money? And that's how people are making withdrawals from people that give, because they see that there's no boundary, so it must be no limit.
Where are the independent morals?
But that's us asking society, and I agree, right? But that's us asking society to be what society has proven to not be, versus just internally setting a boundary to not allow them to get over on us. Because that's where it comes down to, is like we have to acknowledge that people are going to be people, and sometimes inconsiderately aren't considering what it does to you, only what it does for them. And they don't always do it with malicious intent. So when we say taking advantage of, that puts malice on it, because it's almost like everybody that does it and does it with the intent to get over, where though some people just think that you got the capacity to give because there's no showing no limit. It's no restraint. So if you giving, you're not showing that it's taking a toll on you. You're not showing that it's bothering you. You're not showing that you're just showing up. They are never going to associate that with it being an issue, because some people don't think it's a problem until it's presented as a problem. But a boundary allows for you to give, but you've reached your daily deposit limit. I mean, your daily withdrawal limit. You hit your mark for the day. I don't have it for you no more. And that makes people now come into a considering, where am I at with my limit? Am I at the line? Am I close to it? Like, how much more can I get before you cut this shit off? But if you just like, I just got to give, that's toxic in a sense, because, and I'm not saying that exactly pertains to you, but in general, it's associated from people pleasing. That's just what it is.
It's unhealthy.
It's extremely toxic.
But let me ask you this question. So if you have boundaries, so if you typically don't have boundaries, but say you're in a relationship and you're the giver in the relationship, when you set that boundary, but the person doesn't respect that boundary, but that boundary isn't enough to cut them off, how do you get somebody to respect
a boundary? Is always enough to cut somebody off. That's what makes it a boundary. It's not for them to respect the boundary. It's for you to respect the boundary. That's why they call boundaries. If laws was flexible, people would break them. The laws for a reason. It's not contingent upon how I feel about you. It's a boundary. So if I say, I fuck with you, man, you my dog, but don't call me after 11 p.m. because that's my hour that I'm going to sleep, and you constantly do it, you're not going to have access to me in that way. It's not personal. It's not that I don't fuck with you. I don't fuck with what you're doing. And because it's attached to you, y'all both got to go. Mm-hmm. But if I allow my fucking with you to supersede what you're doing, then you're never going to stop doing it. Right. And this happens in parenting. This happens in friendships. This happens in relationships. People, in my book, I said, you have to be willing to leave a relationship to stand on the boundary. I don't tolerate disrespect. I will leave. And when I say that, it sounds good until I leave, because I told you I'm not tolerating disrespect. So if I got my boundary on what I tell you what I'm not, and of course, that's subjective. So we iron out what disrespect look like. We don't just say we're not tolerating disrespect and don't give a fucking crash course on what I feel to be disrespectful. Because I feel like a lot of people say, oh, you disrespected me, but can't identify what that disrespect is. They just might have felt offended. But just because you're offended don't mean it was disrespect. Disrespect has to come with the intent to disrespect you. I can offend you all day tomorrow, but that don't mean I disrespected you. You just offended by what I said. So I make sure that I'm clear on what I deem to be disrespectful and what will make me walk away. And typically I got 4 agreements. Don't think for me. Don't lie to me. We keep everything in-house, and stand on what you do. And then I will go into a whole entire breakdown on what those 4 agreements look like so that you understand that if you fiddle within these 4 agreements, this is enough for me to walk away. Even if you don't see it as that deep, it ain't for you to see it as deep. It's deep to me. And because of that, I have to be willing to walk away. But in most cases, people will get their act together when they know, because again, men only respect pressure and consequences, and women only know what they had once they don't have it no more. So as a man, you got to be willing to walk away to let her realize she fumbled. And as a woman, you got to be willing to walk away just so a man know that you might. Because most women be like, well, why he start getting his act together when I tried to leave? It was a consequence on the table that was actually severe enough to make a nigga realize if I don't stop the nonsense. But this
Pressure.
It's a pressure type shit. So, you know, what you a giver. So naturally, it's going to be a challenge for you. But your battle was against you. It's not even against them. They're going to continue to do it because that's just God working through them to get to you to let you know, I can't save you from yourself. I can't reach you. You got to say, you know what, baby, you my son, but no, yo, you my husband. And because this isn't part of our vows and your needs, I don't have to tolerate this. Because you my sibling, I don't have to deal with this. I don't have to answer every call because you my mom. You know what I'm saying? It's like, as long as I know that I'm showing up for you in the ways that I'm capable and I have the capacity to, then I'm doing my part type shit. You know what I mean?
And do you have siblings? How many?
4, 3.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, as an only
child
child,
ass nigga.
as an only child, I've never struggled with that for the most part.
He don't have empathy.
Allegedly, kind of, supposedly, basically. But yeah, so it's like, you know, whether it's friends, and as I've gotten older, I've recently decided I'm just going to start pulling back a little bit. I feel like I went through a certain chapter of adulting where I was being too hard on, like, if anybody even cracks the boundary, even touches the wall, it's like, oh, it's over, it's chalk, like it's done. It's like, no, it's okay. Like, even with family, it's like, you know, like when I understand now where it's like, you know, I proved the point. You know, it is what it is. But at the same time, to your point about the giver thing, you made me think about old conversations me and my wife used to have where I used to tell her early on, like, I recognize because how her family was or her siblings, she was the giver of the family. And they will constantly
women be that.
go to her, lean on her. And I'd be like, oh, no. I'm like, no, like, I'm a low maintenance person in general. I'm pretty self-sufficient. I don't need that much for you. I'm not about to be a person like put a whole other anchor on your back and be like, you can do this? You can take care of me too. Like, so I understand how that, to me, of course, it's up to the person to have the boundary, but also feels up to the people you come across, especially partners, to protect that as well and to honor that. Like, I'm gonna protect you from yourself even if you need it. Even if you didn't even get to that chapter yet, I got you. And I saw that very early on with
But
us,
that's the thing about men. That's like a part of our protection. It's protecting a woman from herself. I don't know a single woman that don't identify themselves as a giver. And when you get close enough, you realize that a lot of it be against their want and will. It's like they do it, but it's not like I really wanted. I got up wanting to serve. It got up like I was called upon, and I felt like I had to because I was called upon. And even in my most recent relationship, I realized that a lot of people will overstep because there was no boundaries put in place, and men add structure. So in us within now it gets tricky when the man inside the structure is the one that's overstepping. But typically, in a general sense, as men, we are supposed to be the ones that say, "You're not about to get over on my girl." That's why when we go to with y'all to get oil changes, they go from $120 to $65. When we go with y'all to buy cars, they go from 23% interest to 10% interest. It's like everything changes when we there because we add that structure and we hold people accountable. And this allows for a woman to be like, okay, cool, like these things are shaping out in my favor versus going in these places expecting a man to just be honest, expecting a woman to just be honest, and then feeling like the world is a horrible place when people do fucked up shit, when in reality the protective measure that should have been in place wasn't, because you didn't put them there by having a man or having boundaries. Because if you don't have a man, you got to have boundaries. Because the thing about it, ladies, is if you do have a man, you need to have boundaries 100%, but a man still will protect you from yourself and protect you from the other people in the world that try to overstep to give you time to establish boundaries. But if you don't have a man, you better get to work on your boundaries, because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be able to stop people from overstepping to where you feel like they getting off, and the whole time they just being human. But